I have a problem. And the problem is more than just my lawn doesn't look good at all. I have a Bermuda grass problem. Like bad. Real bad. In all honesty, it's something that people have told me to just let it go for years now, because where I live, Bermuda grass is kind of the dominant grass. Even though I'm in the transition zone, Bermuda kind of just really thrives here. I mean, I got a huge patch right here, but it kind of just goes and it's over here. Oh yeah, also have a bunch of crabgrass here because the pre-emergent ran out and I never put down another one, so I got crabgrass as well. Got more crabgrass right there. I have some other stuff, whatever that is. Got all this Bermuda here between myself and my neighbor's yard. Back there is kind of okay, but then Bermuda all right here. And then I got these little, I got clover again. I mean, I got this stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, that's not even counting on the other side of the yard where it's almost just as bad, if not worse. So it's like, what are my options to treat it? You know, I could just let the Bermuda grass grow and let it eventually take over and just focus on the weeds and kind of have this Fescue lawn, which I'm not good with that. You know, you could go ahead and put glyphosate and start all over again, which I don't want to do that either. Besides, glyphosate wouldn't really do the trick, because I remember I did a full renovation on this lawn a couple, 3 years ago or something like that. And yeah, it took care of the Bermuda that first time, because that was like 2 applications of glyphosate and the 41% glyphosate. So it was the big stuff, and it obviously came back. So the next option is to spend $400 and use Pylex. And yes, I'm not joking about that. Pylex is about $500. And I'm not using it all myself. It's between myself and a couple family members, because they also have fescue lawns with Bermuda grass creeping in, so we're all gonna treat our lawns together. So we all split the cost of it, which is probably the best way to use it, because for what you get for $400, a little bit goes a long way. So Pylex comes in just this 4-ounce container, and it comes with a 1 milliliter syringe. And for most applications, you're using 0.7 milliliters up to 1 milliliter per 1,000 square feet. So you're using very little product to treat the weeds in your yard. And Pylex isn't just for Bermuda grass. It treats crabgrass and Dallas grass and other sorts of weeds as well. So it is considered a broad spectrum herbicide. Another cool thing is that you can mix this with other herbicides as well, depending on what you're trying to treat. So as you saw, I have some clover and a few other things, so I'm gonna put a little bit of SpeedZone in there as well. And if you have crabgrass, a lot of crabgrass and different varieties of crabgrass, you can use Drive XLR8 in there as well, and then you're gonna be knocking out your crabgrass problems. So whenever you're using a product like this, any herbicide really, you need to have proper PPE. So I got long sleeves on even though it's summer. I got gloves on, I got boots on, I got pants on, so I'm ready to apply this. And they do recommend using a marking dye. I'm not gonna be using a marking dye, because pretty much everywhere that there is grass, other than that back corner over there, there's Bermuda. So I'm not going to be doing the marking dye thing. Besides, it is also a real messy proposition to use marking dye. But yeah, so go ahead and apply and come back in 7 to 10 days to see how it's coming. Now we wait 7 to 10 days to see it go to action. Now, Pylex works a lot like tenacity, mesotrione, if you've ever used that before. It bleaches the grass. So everything that is going to die is going to turn white first, and then it's going to die. And they say 7 to 10 days is generally when that's going to take effect, or you're going to start to see those results. Now, if you're gonna do this like me, you want to do it 6 to 8 weeks prior to seeding. So, and depending on the severity of the weed outbreak or how mature the weeds are, you're gonna need multiple applications, 2 to 3 in most cases, to really fully knock things out. And that 2 to 3 applications is within that 6 to 8 week window. So before application number 1, it needs to be 6 to 8 weeks before you do your seeding, and then you can fit everything in. So in 2 to 3 weeks, I can come back and do another application of this to hopefully knock everything out. And because it's so close to seeding time after that, then the areas that are gonna die off, I can put out some good grass seed and sort of regain and retake control of my lawn. There's a whole nother short coming out about why my lawn looks the way it does and why I'll sort of let it go like I did, but that's a story for another day. So if you have any questions about Pylex, how to apply it, or anything like that, put those down in the comments below and I will answer those as quick as I can. It has been 7 days since the application of Pylex, and so I wanted to give a 7-day update, sort of show what it does within those 7 days and what the next steps are. So I think this is a good representation of what the Pylex does after 7 days. You can see a lot of bleaching. So here's a big patch of Bermuda here, and you can see it is turning white, similar to if you were to use tenacity. It's kind of the same exact thing, or mesotrione, very similar. It bleaches everything, so you know it's working. So this patch of Bermuda is going. Got some other, this isn't really my yard, but I kind of sprayed it in my neighbor's as well. But you can see whatever this is, it's starting to turn a little bit white in some areas, but then some weeds it's not really turning white. Now if we go actually into my yard, this area, Bermuda, is turning white. That area turning white. The clover, because I did put SpeedZone in there, you can see the clover is not necessarily turning white, but you can see it is dying off, along with whatever this woody type of weed is also you know, losing its color and browning. This big area of crabgrass and other stuff on the devil strip, this is all going slowly. It's very thick, so it is also dying, especially around right there, along here. There are some areas where you can see it's definitely fading and maybe a little bit of white, a little bit of bleaching, but this area isn't the same as like that or that, but it's definitely paler in color. Same with this little area here, is a little bit paler in color. Now the spurge, you can see, is not, the spurge is not turning white, but it is, you know, losing its color. It's definitely getting paler. And remember, spurge, you know, when it's, the thing about spurge is when it's healthy, it's kind of real flat and low to the ground. And when it starts to die, it kind of stands up a little bit more. At least that's what I've noticed. I don't know if that's like an official thing, but that's just what I feel like I've noticed, is that when it starts to die, it starts to sort of lift up a little bit and become a little bit more fluffy. It's an official term. So that's what I'm noticing with the spurge. But overall, it is definitely doing what I want it to do. I want to see the Bermuda go, but it does need a second application. And I think this goes into maybe, oh, there's another weed here. This thistle or whatever this is, it's got little spikes on it. It is wilting up. That one, not so much though. Same with that one. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So the thing with Pylex and a lot of herbicides is that a lot of people think it's a one-time application and you move on. That sometimes is true. What determines whether you need multiple applications or not is obviously, is the first application working? But really it's about, you gotta properly diagnose your situation before you start applying stuff. So when you're applying a herbicide, how mature are the weeds? If you let crabgrass, for instance, like that sort of area over there on the devil strip, I've let that go. So that crabgrass is very mature. You know, that's got pretty much a few months of growth behind it. So it's going to take more than one application to knock that out, especially if you're using stuff that is sort of, you know, big box store, you know, homeowner ready. You know, you're not really getting a whole lot of product out on it. It's going to take multiple applications to knock out that stuff. Even with some of the more pro or prosumer herbicides, it can take multiple applications to get your desired result. It depends on how mature the weeds are that you're trying to eliminate. Now this, you know, some people would put out that one application of Pylex and move on. You say, oh, it's bleaching, it's doing its job. But then you wonder why next year the Bermuda is still there and you're saying, well, the Pylex didn't do anything. What a waste of $400. Well, no, you need to make sure, like, how mature, like that area there is, you know, a couple seasons worth of growth. This area right here between my neighbor's yard and my yard, that's, you know, I didn't kill that off when I did my renovation because that's on my neighbor's side, so I didn't touch it. But that is, you know, several years worth of Bermuda growing there. So that's going to take a little bit more product for it to fully wipe that out. So it's not as simple as you put out one application of herbicide and then move on with your day. No, if it's been a couple years and you've not really taken care of your lawn, or even if you have and you've sort of let some areas go or something like that, one application of herbicide can knock out some of the young weeds. That's why they say when you put out these herbicides, you should do it early in the season when you first start noticing them, because that's when the herbicide is most effective. But if you sit there and you let it grow throughout the season and the crabgrass starts to get, you know, a lot bigger, or the Bermuda patch gets a lot bigger, then you're letting it go. You need to go ahead and put out multiple applications because it is getting hardy and it is thickening up, and it's going to take a lot more to eliminate it. So whether it's Pylex or you're using Spectricide Weed Stop for lawns, you really need to evaluate how mature the weeds are that you're trying to treat, and then that helps you determine, well, is it going to be a one application, a two application, three application, so on. So I am going to come out next week because you have to wait at least 2 weeks before you start applying multiple applications of Pylex. So I'll come back next week with another application of this, and then I will let all that happen, and then come September, I will go ahead and do my overseed. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and God bless. If you are still here, let's just fix my camera. I used to do this at the end of videos for a little while, and then I stopped doing it because I cared more about the algorithm. And you know, if there was 2 minutes after the video that everyone turned off, then it sort of would affect the way the video would be promoted or whatever. So I did that. I cared about that more than I cared about what I was doing. So I'm gonna go back to doing what I did before, and that's praying at the end of my videos. So yeah, if you have a prayer request, I'll put my email down below and you can send me a prayer request. It's between you and me and God. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pray real fast and then officially end this video. Dear Lord, I thank you for today, God. I thank you for all that you do for us in these crazy, crazy times, it seems like. But first and foremost, and I guess most of all, I just pray that you help people find joy. It seems everyone's quick to being angry and criticizing and just negative attitudes. And so I just pray that that you put joy in people's life, whether that's putting someone in people's life that brings them joy or starts to bring them joy, or letting them find a hobby or something that gives them joy, but just start bringing joy back into people's lives, because this world could use just a little bit more joy and happiness over the constant negativity it seems like just floods our feeds, Lord. We thank you for all you do for us. In your name, amen. Now, I'll see you later. God bless.